SummerSlam 1992. My Mafia.
Yeah, it was the mob up in Canada.
They're really
Italian?
nice.
No
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Why'd they kill him?
A lot of the guys from New York left, so they ran shit in Canada. A lot of the stuff going on in Canada wasn't the export of like alcohol and stuff. There's an illegal cigarette trade throughout Canada, and the mafia ran that for a long time.
Huh.
Alcohol and booze.
I didn't know that. So why did they kill him?
He owed somebody money. He knew something he should have known.
I heard they're like, we got to kill you. Sorry. You know,
Sorry about that. Sorry about this guy. He's like, it's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, no, not children of all ages. Welcome to the Sober Swole podcast. My name is Jake Howard.
My name is Paul Rowe.
And before we get to introduce our special guest this evening, let's give a couple shout-outs. Let's see. We're going to talk about Royalty Nutrition. Who would be a great person to talk about Royalty Nutrition?
I think you would be.
Well, but there's somebody better. Someone that rules ass.
I don't know.
Hey, it's Warhorse. Do you want your workouts to look like this? Or do you want your workouts to slay? When Warhorse picks his pre-workout, he wants it to slay. If you want second place, go with somebody else. If you want to be a champion, go with Royalty Nutrition.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Royalty Nutrition. That's royaltynutrition.com, at Royalty Nutrition on Instagram. They are a highly respected supplement company because they don't use bullshit in their formulations, and they do not offer any fake promises. They just make great supplements that help you get the job you need done while you're training towards that goal you're training for. Check them out, royaltynutrition.com. Use the discount code 37HAKE to save you 15% on your entire order on the supplements that are currently already on sale. I'll give you some love to Gorilla Gains. That's gorilla-gains with a Z.com. Check them out at Gorilla Gains with a Z15 on Instagram. They are a performance apparel company that you can wear in and out of the gym comfortably and not look like a bag of smashed assholes. They're a great company. They also make great apparatuses that help you stay safe while you train. I use the wrist wraps, elbow sleeves, knee sleeves. I'm wearing their shoes right now. Check them out. Use the discount code JAKE15 to save you 15% on your entire order. All right, I'm giving some love to the FitOps Foundation. The FitOps Foundation is a not-for-profit organization that helps veterans rediscover their purpose after their active duty military service. Without the FitOps Foundation, I would not have become the coach and trainer that I have become today. They are so great. They're working towards getting an aftercare program for the veterans that have gone through the program already to keep the CVFOs in the loop and keep that family united as we grow and help spread that good word of taking care of your mind, body, and spirit in your own way throughout the United States, if not the world. Paul, tell them what's good.
Hey, well, the first shout I'm going to go ahead and give it out to, if I can even fucking talk right now, boom, is my brother, Kyle Summers. And what Kyle does is he works at a place called Purpose Healing Center. They're located out in Scottsdale. If you want to check them out, go to purposehealingcenter.com. I've known Kyle for quite some time. He's a brother of mine. I would die for him, and he does amazing work at their new facility. They've upgraded, and they've gotten in more clients, and so I'm very happy for him. So if you're looking to help with addiction, check them out. Check them out online. Speaking of addiction, I like to give a shout out to the Pigeon Coop. I first started going there because of the guy that's sitting to my left, who we're going to be introducing here in just a minute. But a lot of good recovery there. A lot of great meetings. I did go to the men's meeting that was on Sunday nights at 6 p.m. called the Fourth Dimension. I understand that it's back up and running again. Give a little shout out to London. He's sharing the meeting now. So, gentlemen, if you guys are looking for an awesome just men's meeting, check out 4D at 6 o'clock Sunday nights. They're located off of 60 and Rule, right behind the Denny's, next to, I believe it's an AMF bowling alley. And the last place I want to give a shout out to, before I go ahead and shout out to these beautiful boys right here, is Advanced Physical Therapy. As you can see, they've taken me up good. They're a great place. They've allowed me to not have to go back to use any type of pain medication to deal with the pain that I was in. I was in a lot of pain, and within weeks, I'm back to working out. I went to the gym yesterday for the first time, and I'm dealing with some issues, but they continuously work with me, and they have a fantastic staff. The physical therapist, Mandy, knows a lot. So if you want to check them out, give them a shout or give them a look online, advancedptaz.com. And last but not least, want to give a shout out to my boys in blue. That's the LA Dodgers. Anybody who is listening right now, put out that blue energy. Please. We want to win tonight.
Ooh.
That's all I got, Jake. I think we have somebody here with us, don't we?
I mean, like, fuck bye to bye, though, right?
Who's that?
We couldn't be doing this podcast without Bye to Bye Studios. If you are a content creator in the, I don't know, what area are we in?
Mesa.
The Mesa area. Mesa around the valley.
You're coming from Santan. I'm coming from, I was coming from Gilbert. I mean, people can come from all places.
If you are a content creator that needs a studio that is high quality, high functioning, and ran by an audio engineer who knows what the fuck he's doing, check out at Bye to Bye Studios on Instagram and see what he can do for you. Now, I apologize, Jeff.
No apologies needed.
Let's get this man introduced.
Well, I'll go ahead and make the introduction, since I've known this man for a little over 2 years.
43 years.
And he was my sponsor at one time. He introduced me to the meeting that I was just speaking of, the Fourth Dimension. He was one of the creators of that meeting. And he's a brother of mine. I love him to death. I always make the joke to him that he's the older brother I never had. And anybody that's close to him, we all call him Yoda. And that's because he's very wise and will just drop some fucking wisdom on you just out of nowhere. Where you're like questioning what you just got done saying. That's how good he is. But I'll go ahead and let Jeff tell his story. I love this man very much. Just like to introduce you to Jeff Kamalik.
Thanks, Paul.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Jake.
Hey.
Yeah, thanks, Bye to Bye.
Sorry, Ryan.
Appreciate all the work and putting this together. And I just want to thank you guys for giving me the chance to come on and do this. I've never had the chance to do this before in this kind of a setting. I did a lot of training and Zoom and teleconference stuff with a lot of people for many years when I was in the corporate world. But this is cool. This is really, really cool stuff. I love the setup, the cameras, the mics. This is really awesome. Growing up, I wanted to be a sportscaster. I wanted to be on TV. And when I went to college out in Regis University in Denver, my internship was at Channel 7 at ABC out there. And like so many things in my story, I didn't want to put forth the effort. I didn't want to start off on the ground floor, being a gopher, grabbing coffee or whatever, to put in the work to be able to sit behind that desk. I figured like, hey, I'm here. I'm a senior in college. You should just give me a job as the anchor. So much arrogance and no humility. Before we jump in, and guys, feel free to, whatever, cut me off at any given time. If you got questions or whatnot, the Pigeon Coop and Fourth Dimension, what we were just talking about, just so pivotal in my recovery, going back to 2013 when I lived down here for a couple of months. I had a couple meetings down there, and just so grateful for everybody that's on the board out there that's taking care of business with this whole coronavirus thing going on. You guys are awesome, and just thank you so much. And I wish I could take credit for being one of the founders of 4D. I was not.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, I came on board a little over a year after the meeting had formed.
Got it.
And we had the chance to enjoy some serious stuff, man. I mean, when we were bussing in, 3 different treatment facilities, we had 60 to 70 guys in there a night, and the majority of us were in there working a program and spreading the message. And I really give a shout out. I know you had some sponsees and a couple of the other guys we had mentioned, just working, just passing that along. And that's what it's all about today, is what my meditation was, God, what can I do today to be of maximum service to those around me? And to be honest with you guys, man, I've been going through some major stuff, from super selfishness, only thinking about my stuff, and it's all the same. It's pink or it's green, and
That is true.
And what I've found, and especially today, I got to go super deep and figure out that no matter what, my ego wants a story to tell, and once it has a story, it wants a different story. It wants more. And for, Paul and I talked a lot today, Jake, about more, what's winning mean, what's success mean, and what it means for most of us is more. It means a bigger house. It means more friends. It means more money. It means also, it comes with that is a lot more stress, a lot less serenity, a lot less peace. And just being able to gauge in that perspective has just been really shocking today, to jump into wow, I'm really framing a lot of these things from a pretty jacked up perspective with zero gratitude. I do a lot of options trading, and it is volatile as a motherfucker out there right now. And there's some major stocks. I know a lot of people are following Zoom. You follow Tesla, you follow Apple, you follow a lot of those stocks that have been moving up. There's other ones like Snowflake and Fastly and that are bursting onto the scene. So there's so much opportunity to make money, but there's so much opportunity to lose money. I mean, you go the wrong way and can't get out of the trade fast enough. I mean,
Jake does that.
How many losses, right?
Not really. I fuck with shitcoin. I bought I'm up to $350 in Dogecoin.
I thought you did, because you sent me a link to
Really?
freaking the stocks.
Yeah,
Or
no,
begin-
that Robinhood thing.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not a day trader
Okay.
because I'm not trying to get into that life. I have an account set up that I have stocks in, and I'm not doing the math or rolling the dice all the way. It's if it's up high enough to a certain level where I'm okay, that's cool, I'll get rid of it. Down the road, I'm not buying options. I'm not buying. You know what I mean? I'm not being. Buying on options is where you basically take a bet, right? Where this stock's going to do more than this. Right? Or
So it's
like that.
Yeah, I mean, the way I like to explain it is it's a race against time. So what you do is you purchase a contract, and a contract is worth 100 shares. So you have control over those 100 shares. And when you buy a call, for example, you want the stock to go up, and you want it to go up fast. And you make a purchase price for that, which is called the strike. And the strike is where you're buying the stock at, but then you have to pay a premium for it. So if you're, which is called the bid or the ask, and if you pay, let's just use easy math. You are going to pay for a stock at, let's say, $1 per contract. All right, or $1. So that's $100 because you're buying 100 shares. So it's 100 for one contract, which holds 100 shares. And if that stock is at $100, for example, and it goes to 101, you're at the break-even point. So as long as it goes above that, you're going to make some money. But if it doesn't go above that before the time expires, which could be next Friday, the Friday after, you could go out a year, you can go out a couple of years if you want and forecast. You just got to spend more money. And there's different variations. I mean, this is where like all the fun shit, like standard deviations from, calculus, pre-calc and stuff. Like I'm learning this and I'm going through it back in 2019. I'm like, man, this is wild. This is crazy. But like the safe bet is like find some stocks that will be safe no matter what happens with this election.
Is that like Facebook, Apple, like the big names like that?
Well, I mean, some stuff's trading for, like Apple's like around like 111, 115 right now. That's not a bad bet. Somebody was asking me about stocks and real estate and stuff, and I just had to regurgitate some shit like we usually do, right? And I said, look, there's never a bad time to buy. There's just a bad time to sell. So if you can hold on to it and let it ride, I mean, I'm probably going to throw, a pretty good chunk of change into some stuff here next week. Once we get a little bit closer to the election, I'm going to look at some historical facts of like what usually goes well around, these times. Who did well this summer? What did Starbucks do? But then also my favorite thing to do is like find some crazy shit, some crazy companies that nobody's ever heard of, and I didn't expect we were going to get into finances in this.
No,
this is pretty
yeah.
cool. Are you guys down?
Well,
Just roll
no,
with it, or
I'm
what?
cool because the whole thing was like Paul's like, no, Jake does. Like, no, dude, I just buy stocks and I sometimes sell them.
And I'm just sitting over here like, what?
So what you're saying is you teach.
For about 4 weeks though.
What's that?
It was a topic of conversation every episode.
Well, yeah, because I was talking about my Dogecoin, dude. I'm telling you, once it's gonna come up, and I'm going to be gone for a while because I'm gonna go on a vacation.
Is that like Doja Cat?
No,
No, that's not.
No.
Can we get some Doja Cat queued up? Ryan, that'd be awesome. Slip a little something.
no,
in
it's
there.
an altcoin that started off as a joke, and then it like every once in a while, Elon Musk will tweet about it, and it's worth like way less than a cent. And I have a shitload of it. So if it gets to half a cent, I'm cool for a long time.
That's awesome.
So I'm all right.
Yeah, something to keep an eye on too. Like all the, you hit the nail on the head with Facebook. Snapchat just reported their earnings yesterday, and they had a 33, almost 36% gain overnight. And like on one of those, whenever you see something crazy like a 30 to 40% one day gain after earnings, like standard call is or standard operating procedures, you go in and you buy a put, which is you bet that the stock's going down over the next couple of days. So like that's kind of watching what happens, learning about, resistance and support is so much fun. Like when the stock hits this and goes up to here, it's wild, man. It's like, I'm grateful that I took math seriously. I loved math growing up because like I get to see how these ratios, these percentages it works. It works. Once this does this, 99% of the time, it's going to do this. For example, Zoom was their cap, the highest they'd ever reached was 507 a share, and it hit 507 last week on what was it, Tuesday or Wednesday, and it just kept going, and theoretically it could go up as much as it can, but they've got these $100 swings. So as soon as it hit the $100 swing from where it was when it started its run, which was at $487, it hit 587 or 575, somewhere in there, and boom, immediately started getting volatile and then tanked. And that's it's funny, talking about stocks and looking at you guys in the eyes right now, like that's how my life is. Like that's how I think a lot of our lives are, where like we've got these built-in habits where like things are going so freaking amazing. And then boom, all of a sudden we freaking tank. Like what the fuck happened? Whether it's, relapse or through drinking, drugging, or the emotional relapse, which so many of us has, right? Like we snap. And what are those things that get us to snap? And what they're commonly referred to as triggers. And, this is one of those things that I've wanted to talk about so much for so long, is like what these triggers are and what I watch and what my experience has been, because, I lived life on the seat of my pants and was very emotional. I mean, the CEO of the company I worked for 10 years, when he introduced me, people would be like, this is Jeff, our emotional leader. And, I'm the vice president of sales, up in the executive team. And like, he's introducing me these things. And like, I took it as like a badge of honor, like pride, like, yeah, I'm emotional. Yeah, I'm passionate. But like later on, I finally realized like, it's that's not the way I want to live life anymore. Getting just freaking emotionally bent out of shape about everything, for health reasons, emotionally, mentally, physically, and getting to hang out with Paul. I moved up to Colorado. I sold my house a couple months ago, and I'm staying with Paul and his fiance Desiree. And man, I'll tell you what, it's been fantastic. And we've been able to watch some of the baseball games. And Paul's passionate. Paul's emotional. And like when a strike is thrown and it's called a ball, this fucking guy is out of his chair. What are you talking about? Going nuts and screaming. And I'm watching this since last Friday. And I'm just like, wow, I knew the podcast was coming, so I wanted to talk about triggers and like what that means to you guys too, not just in the getting jacked up sense, but like whenever I think something should go another way, or even when like, we were talking about the dogs today, like the dog needs to go out and piss, so it's screaming or it's scratching at the door, like screaming. Yeah, dog scream. Have you heard a dog scream before? What's it sound like? It's perfect.
That was good.
I've got hounds, man.
And Paul's like, I didn't get mad at the dog today. And it's like, yeah, because dogs what? Dogs bark.
Yep.
They tear shit up.
Yep.
They annoy you.
They throw up. They piss. They shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, why get mad at a dog for being a dog?
Correct.
And then the even more powerful thing was like, why get mad at my fellow man? Because we're just people, man. Like we're just, most of us are trying to do the best that we can each and every day.
Correct.
And, what I've watched over the last, since I left that career back in January of 2019, it's been like this incredible sociological experiment. Traveled the country, went over to Munich, starting up a couple different businesses, working with some other friends to get their businesses off the ground. And what I'm learning and I'm watching and I'm seeing is like just how the majority of us are just so maladjusted to accepting life on life's terms and like as it happens. And something that came through meditation the other day was that should have and could have are arguably the two most devastating and detrimental things I can say and things I can think to start getting me into a place of just this regret or like 100% arrogance of what transpired has already happened. Therefore, it's God's will. Like, how can I argue that what has already happened is not God's will? And that it, for whatever reason, and what is next is the only question. And there's this book that I read. It's called The Disappearance of the Universe, and it's about it goes into the Course in Miracles and some stories about this guy that he experienced, and just how what the reality is that most of us think, and our inability to forgive ourselves for these decisions is what keeps this devastating cycle going. I mean, even catch yourself right now, or throughout this podcast, or throughout the rest of the evening, of just how many times it pulls you back into the past of like, and I say it meaning the ego, our mind. It just keeps dredging stuff up, and what it is it's a complete lie and a complete illusion, saying that I would be happier if this would have happened in the past. I would have, I would be more wealthy. Who's to say, I make that stock, I buy Zoom at $56, and now it's 560. I got 1,000 shares. Awesome. $500,000, right? I don't know if the math's on that is correct, but it sounds good. So we're going to roll with it for this example. Like what doesn't come into the equation is like, cool, I make that, but like, because I made that, I made a different decision that actually put me onto this plane that actually crashed and I'm dead. Can't even enjoy the money. Like the fact that like I think I know what's best for me, and that I think that there's some shit out there that is like the perfect life to where I will never have any problems. And Mark Moran talks about in his book The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and then his follow-up book, which Everything is Fucked, A Story of Hope, which I've got into a little bit, but I really want to dive into. And just how this existence, man, it's if you want to use different verbiage, cool, use different verbiage, but this works for me. We're just trading one set of problems for another set of problems. I don't have a girlfriend. I really, really want a girlfriend. Well, I don't know about your guys' experience, but oftentimes with me is as soon as I kind of go into that manifestation mode and start attracting and the magnet starts to occur, like I start attracting these beautiful and amazing women and getting to have these phenomenal experiences. But now it's like, okay, well, my problem was I didn't have a girlfriend now. Now my problem is I have too many girlfriends. Or, I've got one girlfriend, but what are we going to do for dinner tonight? And that's just these more decisions to go into. And like, I don't have a job. Well, now I have a job and I hate my fucking boss. Well, my boss gets replaced. Now I got a new boss and I hate that fucking boss more than I hated the old boss. And it's just one set of things that just keeps going. So what's the solution for it? And in a roundabout way, what really came through is this sense of gratitude and how to be in this place of letting go constantly of what I think my life should look like. Because I've got these plans and these schemes and these designs. And, I'm coming up on my 40th birthday on Saturday. So, like, talk about a milestone to, like, take a look back and be like, holy fuck. Well, first off, I didn't think that I'd be alive this long. I thought, man, age 27, I'm dead. And I wished for death every single day. Man, I couldn't put enough 80 milligram Oxycontins, cocaine, methamphetamines, booze, weed, whatever, Xanax into my system to, like, kill me. So every morning I wake up and be like, fuck, I got to live another day. And that was just on to the rat race, right? So from a perspective now of gratitude of like, holy shit, like this is amazing. This is amazing.
Oh, so I was going to let you know, we have a question from the live stream. How do you guys handle / deal with procrastination? With me, I'm not the best at it, but I find that if I keep myself, I have to keep myself weighed down. I have to have more than one thing going on. Because if I don't have more than one thing going on, I'm like, I can put that off. But if I have more than one thing, like with doing the podcast, being a dad, going to school, training, having folks come over to train, doing my online training, if I can keep the chaos in a flow, I do better with avoiding procrastination that way. I'm not always the best at it, but I'm 1,000 times better than if I just had one thing going on and I was just sitting on my ass, twiddling my thumbs. What about you, Paul?
Mine's simple. Like you, I'm not the best at it either. Like Jeff was a witness to that of this past weekend with me cleaning my backyard. But typically, I just do what my father told me. Just fucking do it. It's gotta get done. Just do it. And that's what I'll just have in my head. Like on Saturday when I cleaned the backyard, I was like, all right, just fucking do it. Don't think ahead. And it's honestly, now that I'm thinking about it right now, that was probably the most I was in the present moment when I was doing that. Because I wasn't thinking about anything else. I was right there in that moment. I just saw that. What about you, Jeff?
Man, it's so funny. I love the procrastination topic because of this joke someone told me. They said procrastination and masturbation are a lot alike. They can both be a lot of fun until you realize you're just fucking yourself. And
I like that.
First and foremost, thanks for the question. Secondly, like, it's got to start with forgiveness. Like, as soon as I identify procrastination that I'm doing it, there's usually a judgment that comes immediately after that, which is, you fucking idiot. You procrastinated again. You didn't get this done. Now you got to either lie and tell a story, or you need to just face up and then feel the wrath from whomever needed you to get a job done that you waited until the last minute to get it done. So, like, first off is, like, acknowledge, forgive. And then once I can acknowledge and forgive it, I can see that I am not procrastination, that I am not a mistake, that, this thing or these things that needed to get done just did not get done. And then look at a very factual standpoint and just be like, dude, it's okay. It didn't get done. But now, am I ready? Am I willing? Am I able to do it? And yeah, I got to witness, Paul, you woke up first thing in the morning, man. You just got outside and just got after it. And it was, it was really cool to watch. And I mean, that's the thing. You know, some people like to say it starts in the morning as soon as you wake up. And if you get out of bed right in the minute and you jump up and you do push-ups and you start screaming and singing a song, like, you won't procrastinate all day. And if you make your bed, and like, that's not been my experience, man. Like, I've gotten out of bed on the right you know, on the right foot, and just really looked at, this is going to be awesome. And then, you know, out of nowhere, I'm like freaking 14 episodes into Friends deep, and it's fucking 4 p.m. in the afternoon. You know, I'm like, what the hell just happened to my day? And you know, that happens. And I mean, you know, Paul's 100% right. First off, like, if I want to do it, then just do it and just get it done. I mean, that's the simplicity of it.
Yep.
Dope question.
I think one of the hard parts about that, though, is there's a lot of things that come involved, especially when, as we are grown adults here, there's things that we have to get done that we don't want to do, and that becomes a thumb twiddler on purpose, on accident. Like, oh no, I did end up watching 14 episodes of Friends instead of going to the paying for my car's registration. Oops, you know, like little silly simple stuff. And like you were talking a little bit too, like, you have to be self-aware of that too. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean you can just fuck it off. You know, I've never used this in this type of analogy before, but like, you have to do the stuff you don't like to enjoy doing the stuff that you do like, because you have to have bad days. Otherwise good days wouldn't matter. So it's kind of like the same kind of thing. Because if you're just doing yay, 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 yay all the time, yay just becomes boring, you know? So
Depending what type of yay you're talking about.
oh, man. Was that a pun at me? Not everything's about you, Dez.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Yeah. C.S. Lewis talking about the good with the bad. The good doesn't seem as good without the bad. And the pain and the suffering, and I mean, you know, going into all that. Sometimes, I mean, for me, pain's a great motivator, and you know, whatever, through, you know, the program of AA and CA, and especially in the early days, like, learning from the quote unquote mistakes. I've come to a place where I don't believe in mistakes now. There are no mistakes. You know, we just make the decisions that we make based off the information that we have from past experiences, and possibly from our friends and family and other people. And, you know, just make that decision to move forward with it. There's so much, there's so much happening, at least inside of me. I don't know, you know, with you guys, but with the, like, I got to make the right decision. And then, like, things don't work out and you're like, fuck, I didn't make the right decision. And, you know, it could be, you know, like we talked about, is it at work? Is it at home with the relationships? You know, or maybe even it's with your higher power. You know, what's going on with, you know, between me and God right now? You know, how's that relationship look? Is it a friendship relationship, or am I kind of like worried to go talk to him, like, because I think he's got the belt out, and, you know, it's going to be a little ass whooping for what I've done? And, like, look, man, I'm no saint in the least. And definitely still working to become the best version of whatever it is that I'm going to become, without, you know, getting too wrapped up in what's right and what's wrong. You know, there's a great quote, and I can't remember who said it, but it is, what is true for you right now most likely will not be true for you tomorrow. And it's staying open-minded. It's having that open mind and not getting too rigid, especially on, like, what I'm doing in the morning. And I want to just tie it back to the procrastination thing, because, you know, I don't know if Harvard did this study. It was one of the Ivy League schools did a study on snoozing. And I mean, you could Google it, and there's probably gonna be 10 that pop up, but people and self-esteem, feelings of self-worth, compared to if you hit the snooze bar or the snooze button whatever we want to call it now. We're a little older, so snooze button for sure. And how many times you hit it. And with each press of the snooze, that group, their self-esteem was lower and lower and lower on the test. So like, I mean, I don't know, I'm not going to do any blanket statements or anything, but like there's key things to identify out of my daily behaviors that are going to help get me to where I want to go. And the biggest one is doing what I say I'm going to do. If I say I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m, I need to get up out of bed at 5 a.m, or else I'm going to start taking a penny, a coin, whatever out of that bank account, that emotional sobriety bank account. And if I'm going to text somebody back, I need to text them back. And for whatever reason, I know it's tough for us to do a lot of the things and follow through a lot of the time, and things fall to the wayside, things that are important. So, I mean, I don't know, I'll turn it back around to you guys now in regards to like, what are you struggling with right now? Like, what's one thing you're really struggling with that you're like, I want to make some movement with this. This is getting old.
Jakey Poo?
Well, like I was saying, I like to be weighed down by multiple things, but I'm having a really hard time focusing on and getting my work required done for my homework. I'm back in college. I'm finishing my associates. And it's my last semester, but I have to take 2 math classes. So I'm in college algebra and statistics. And it takes me 4 hours to do an assignment, because I look at math with letters in it and I go, it doesn't compute. Then you throw some Greek letters into that shit. What are you talking about? So
some thetas, some omegas,
and
alphas.
And, they all stand for certain things that I can't remember at the time, so I have to look it up and double check and then triple check my math and do a problem over and over again until they say, congratulations, you figured it out. And it takes me about 4 hours to do one assignment. And then, the test is like, you have a half hour, then I have a,
Mm-hmm.
So I've always had a cut and run kind of thing to me. Like if it's and I'm having a hard time justifying sticking and standing and fighting, even though I know I should. And I do. After this, I'm going home and doing homework. Like, I'm gonna be up until probably the sun comes up. And sorry, babe, I got to.
Sorry, babe.
Yeah, I mean, we got a trip coming up.
And see, that's a big piece too. I really like that, where like you acknowledge it though, like, and that's something where obviously it's going into like other relationships, right? Like Tradition 4 talks about autonomy and how some things are going to affect other groups or the family as a whole, if you want to like switch the words into it. So like, I know you kind of said that tongue in cheek but you meant it. And like, that's a big thing too, where like, it's even just acknowledging it of like, hey, sorry, hon, like, I just got to get this taken care of. So that way you've handled her needs and you've handled yours and you're doing it. That's tough, man.
It's tough, but this is, it's going to be the last semester for a while until we get things, get my next round of chaos ready to go. And I mean, we've got a 1-year-old baby, 3 stepkids, another daughter on the way. And so I have to get this done now, on top of my other work that I really enjoy and love doing. Like, I love being a dad. I love being a stepdad. I love Brittany. And then like the people I work with, like with fitness and nutrition wise, I love those people too. So it's just, I
was going to say, it just blinked red.
Yep. But,
Wizard.
So until that all gets rocking and rolling, I touched the power button. Thanks for peeking around the curtain. But it's a lot.
No, lost you.
USB connection.
No, back on.
Okay, I guess is the connection loose or something? Sorry, now I'm like ADHD losing my train of thought, Jeff.
No, you're great, man. You're great. So the one thing that's really struggling, or at least is kind of weighing you down, is making the time to get this stuff done, with still being able to handle all of your responsibilities and the things that you love to do. Which, I mean, that is what all of us go through, because it's important, and it's trying to build to a goal, right? And having those goals and reaching those goals, which is really cool. And your motives are just pure as heck, man. Like, I can feel it. It's awesome.
Well, one motivation for finishing at least my associates before I make the decision to really go into my bachelor's is I had a bunch of college under my belt and failed out. And one of the traits of a serial killer is they never finish college. So I'd rather not have at least that. I want that checked off my list.
Yeah, every Dateline I've ever seen actually starts off with that.
Ted Bundy, so smart.
Jake Howard
Yeah.
did not graduate college.
But if you ever talk to him, my God.
He's a nice gentleman.
You can tell right away.
Yeah, I'd rather not end up one of those dead-eyed, behind the pictures. Where's all the bodies? What bodies? I don't need that.
I'm glad you brought that up, because it is Halloween coming up next Saturday, which is pretty crazy. Did you guys get your outfits yet? Do you know what you're wearing? Or no?
Well, Brittany and I will be in dress clothes, and the kids will all be in costumes because we're going to a wedding. Her friends Jill and Mike are getting married on Halloween, and they're doing a Halloween-themed wedding. And the thing was, the kids can come dressed up. You have to come dressed like you're going to a wedding. Like, whatever, fine. It's your wedding. I guess you make the rules. So I do have something coming in the mail. Also, sorry, babe, that I'm going to wear around the house.
Awesome. All I can think of is you being in the orange Jim Carrey Dumb and Dumber tuxedo.
Well, we're getting married, and that was one of her things. She's like, I know what you're thinking. Know what I'm thinking. Because I would have showed up in that powder blue tux, man. That's
Lost you again.
It's all right. No one needs to see me anyway. Too pretty. I don't want to overtake this.
Oh shit.
Let's see. Are there any
No,
other
but
questions?
Paul, your turn.
Yeah.
For what part?
We were talking about basically what you're struggling with.
Okay. Right now I'm struggling with nothing. Like, my life is perfect.
That's awesome. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Ryan, can you shut
All right,
it down?
podcast done.
All right.
Me and Jeff talked about it over the weekend. My top two things are finances and my relationship with my kids. My kids are teenagers, and I sure as shit didn't want to spend time. I'm sure you guys didn't want to spend time with your with your parents, and so I'm having to learn to let that go and kind of let them be in their own space, because I'm so badly holding on to the past and still trying to make up that time, and it's never going to happen. And as far as the finances go, Jeff hit it on the nail with me, because he asked me, why did you want that job so bad that I didn't get? And it was because, well, it's good for the family. And he's like, well, your fiance didn't want you to go. She didn't want you to have that job. So is it good for your family? I was like, oh shit. So that that's one of the reasons why we call him Yoda. He just drops some fucking wisdom on you like that. But
and that's good perspective too, man. I mean, and thanks for getting vulnerable and sharing that, especially she's listening right now, which is awesome. And like, just the openness of the communication, the relationship is just so important, because like, I often think like I'm putting everything on my shoulders and I'm going to be the savior. And then everybody around me is like, what the fuck are you doing? None of us asked you to do that. Like, get the fuck off your high horse, because even if you do the thing that you say that you're going to do and you think you're going to do, we still didn't want you to do it. And we're not going to give you praise. You're not going to get a fucking parade. And then what's going to happen? I'm going to get super upset because my expectations weren't fulfilled. Like, how can you not be happy right now? And, man, that's just such a fun cycle. Dude,
I've lost all sound.
Hey, Ryan.
oh, I can hear myself great.
Dude,
I lost sound.
can you hear it on coming through?
Can I hear what come through?
I'd like to. Can you hear the sound coming through the?
It's registering as you are.
Okay, well, all right.
Yeah, you sound great.
Sorry, everybody. There's
Home run Dodgers.
You sound great.
Oh,
I can
Oh
hear
no,
you good.
Des
Okay.
put it up.
yeah. No, so
I didn't say anything about it, man.
no, we're just trying to figure out because Paul and I lost sound in our headphones. Sorry, everybody. I
Wait,
did not mean to derail.
Apologizing, bro. You didn't fucking mean to do it.
I know, but we got people listening.
All three of you out there, are so sorry
No, I still don't.
for that.
Okay.
Do you
all
have
right.
sound?
Hey,
There we go.
Ooh.
Yep, we're good.
there's me.
Hi.
Is it
There
good?
I am. Yes,
Yep.
sir.
I'm telling you, man.
Thank you, Wizard.
There's ghosts. It's moving a little bit.
Hiding the headphones, turning the cameras off.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's you, right?
dude, tonight has been weird. Well, Des, at least somebody misses me. You know, appreciate you, dude. Sorry, Jeff.
No, it's all good.
No,
man. This is great.
I really am enjoying this conversation. I was telling Paul, like, podcast 3, we needed to get you to come
Yeah.
on, for real. And
I remember,
yeah,
and it's such an honor, man. Wednesday nights are.
Lost sound again.
Can you hear?
you're cool.
Wednesday nights are completely off limits for me.
Okay.
Because of the meditation that I do every Wednesday night. And then after that, I have the AA meeting, and I chair that meeting. So, like, when Paul said it's on Wednesdays, and I couldn't make it before we started the When We Retire at Night meeting of AA, I was like, I couldn't commit, right? And
Same thing with Nick too.
and it was just so perfect. Like, everything worked out perfectly this week, and it's an honor, man. I don't care if there's one person listening or two. It's really just a great experience to be here with you guys and, you know, be able to connect at a deeper level. Because for me, that's what it's all about. It's like, when my primary focus, following morning meditation, is to bring the love, light, compassion, and joy through every fiber of my being to every person that I connect with, to glorify God, dude, shit just goes off the charts. It's amazing. But as soon as I make that decision to think of, you know, oh man, you know, I wish I had more money, or, you know, this girl I'm seeing is kind of cool, but, like, man, I wish she was like the other girl, or, you know, I want something new, I want something different, like, just not being extremely grateful for everything that's transpiring. What I found is that it's only a matter of time until I switch from abundance to a scarcity mindset, and the walls start kind of, you know, coming in on me, and I feel trapped and start making really poor decisions, you know, very unhealthy decisions, stretching myself too thin, or making some poor financial choices. I quit chewing tobacco like 2 months ago, so that's been really cool and super helpful. Feeling good about that, but, like, that's just another one of those things of, like, what is the addiction going to manifest in today? You know, for a lot of people, it's porn, nicotine, you know, drugs and alcohol. We talk about that all the time. But then there's shopping, there's gossiping, which, like, I didn't really fully understand as deeply that it's still a problem with me until I got to experience someone read me a fifth step, and we really got to dive deep into that character defect of gossiping for attention. And as long as I can take the focus off of myself and put it on you, then I don't have to look at myself. And that's just another key indicator of, like, all right, am I willing to take a look and go deep into the stuff that I want to change and I want to let go of?
Hey,
You want to keep going on this
no,
journey?
that's dope.
Okay.
Actually, that I talked about the Aftercare Program part of that FitOps Foundation I was in. There's a guy I know. His name's Danny. He lives up in. He's out in the Midwest, and we're actually heading up the "What Are You Addicted To" side of the Aftercare Program, because a lot of veterans come into whatever foundation they go to, they're medicating for something in some way, shape, or form. When I went through the camp, it was heavily focused on drug and alcohol addiction and PTSD, and on top of becoming a highly qualified personal trainer. So that kind of, it didn't get put on the back burner. It was incorporated into just a more of a whole part of the program kind of thing. And so what we're going to do is like once a month, it's like an AA, but not kind of thing that we're going to be doing with people from all over the United States, kind of just call in and just to let it out and hopefully, keep their wheels on the track, so to say. So,
That's dope.
I'm looking forward to that.
Hell yeah.
What's Danny's last initial? Do you know off the top?
Not
of
off
your
the
head?
top of
No?
my,
Okay.
not off the top of my noggin,
Cool,
man.
cool. Well, you said Danny Midwest. It just made me think of my boy Danny Flanagan out in Chicago and all the fun stuff we used to do back in Denver when we first got sober back in 06, 07. Those were 05. Shit, he might have gotten sober in 05. He was down here too at the Pigeon Coop and stuff.
Dan Waller.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Dan W. Awesome. That's so cool.
Yep, and he's a rad cat. And the guy that's running the Aftercare, he is not a veteran, but he has worked extensively in the private sector of like mental health. And he went and saw a camp with his best friend, who is what's his name, John Cena. And he's
John Claude Van Damme.
John Kahuna. He's some sort of athlete.
John Stamos.
Johnny Boy. But so he started this whole like let's get the ball rolling. We understand that the aftercare for all you guys didn't exist. Let's try and bring the people that want to come back into the fold, and let the future classes not have to go through kind of what you guys went through, feeling like you were left out on your own with your dicks in the wind kind of thing.
Which can feel good sometimes. Actually.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. No, but not in a heavy
Try
wind.
to do that at
Not
least
like
once a week
hurricane.
Just don't pee in it.
Hurricane winds.
into the window.
No, never pee into the wind.
Stay away from the Gulf.
Remember one time I was real drunk. I was like, I want to pee in the wind. I'm peeing in the wind.
How'd that work out for you?
Pissed all over myself and
Yep.
thought it was hilarious. And then you wake up the next day. Why am I sticky? Oh, yeah, you're retarded. Yeah, it's just-
Oh shit.
It's a sterile, sticky.
it's true.
Yes.
True. Well, it depends on what you roll in afterwards.
So coffee pee smell or asparagus pee smell?
Like, which is worse?
Which do you love more?
Which you love more?
Yeah. Do you like either of those?
I would say
Options?
I would say coffee.
Coffee pee.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. What about you?
Asparagus.
Asparagus.
No.
Yeah. I'm totally with the asparagus.
Yeah.
It's just it's amazing how it's like you eat one stalk, and the next pee it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Like how quickly, the human body is such an amazing machine. It's ridiculous to think. I practice a lot of yoga, a lot of different types of yoga, and one of them, is just some flow, Bikram. So super hot, they crank it up, you sweat your balls off.
How hot is it in Bikram?
Shoot, I think what do we have? 109,
Holy shit.
108, 109
For an hour, right?
This one's a 90-minute class.
Jesus.
And some of the exercises, I mean, the beginning and the end, it's a slow warm up and slow cool down. But like the thing that that is always so amazing is the more conscious I am and connected with my breathing, the more I can feel when I'm in these positions, even just a basic forward fold, I can feel like the fascia stretching. I can feel my kidneys, being massaged, or, when I'm in Happy Baby or one of the other different positions, like I can feel my organs being massaged, and like, it's really something special and spectacular that, like, if we do this thing, if we drink water and take care of our bodies, like how amazing we can feel physically, which is, I don't know about you guys, but that's a big part for me with the emotional sobriety and everything. Like, if I'm not feeling well, like, that's not good.
Mm-hmm. So I've been really back into taking care of myself, and I do now it's down to about once a week, but I still try and throw a Diamond Dallas Page at his yoga, the DDP yoga. I try and do that at least once a week still. And I'm back to eating clean, but a lot, and heavy, lifting heavy as much as I can. So I finally got everything in my garage set up. And other than last week, I'm feeling great. I smoked myself last night, but I'm feeling wonderful about it. And there's definitely something to really diving deep and putting things into your body that your body actually needs, rather than it just wants kind of thing. One of the hardest addictions for people to beat, in 100% honesty, is generally the American addiction to sugar. Mm-hmm. And it's the negative health effects of over sugaring yourself is leaps and bounds.
Oh, it's detrimental, man.
Yeah.
Does wreaks havoc on your body.
Yeah, dude.
And it's a joke, but a buddy of mine once actually showed me that it fucking worked. He took a carburetor, took fucking Coca-Cola, and fucking got it clean.
Mm-hmm.
Cut oil, cut grease. And people ingest that every day. Yep. Blows my mind.
Yeah, I heard Barks root beer. They use that too.
Probably.
No
Well, so
way.
well,
Don't tell me that. That's my favorite root beer,
So
man.
Paul was just drinking the other day.
Yeah.
I don't. They can't mass produce real root beer anymore. Either.
Why?
Sassafras has been proven to cause cancer.
Son of a bitch.
So sassafras root.
Is it sarsaparilla?
Yeah.
Sassafras.
Well, the sassafras root
is the sarsaparilla.
Mm-hmm. That's what your root beer taste is. You ever
Yes.
chewed on a sassafras root?
A long time ago, yeah.
So good, but
Yeah.
I can't talk shit. I have Copenhagen in my face right now, but it's, yeah. So everything that if you're drinking a root beer, it's not even real plant root anymore. It's all.
That's really disappointing to hear,
Right?
Jake. Because Barks root beer is fucking delicious.
Well,
that bite.
The bite in Barks is caffeine.
Still tastes good.
Oh yeah, it tastes good.
Dad's root beer.
Dad's.
Back in the day.
Yeah, that was
A&W.
good. Oh, A&W.
The old
yep.
A&W
Old
stores.
stuff.
You go in,
No, the A&W fast food restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
get a hot dog and a root beer.
Yep.
Healthy.
Cold mug.
Yeah. Those things were like, I can remember it was $2.
Mm-hmm.
$2 for a mug of root beer, a freaking hot dog, and a French fry. Now it's like a $12 combo. You walk in for a hot dog, fries, and it's ridiculous.
Well, you're paying for the glass, right?
Oh, the glass mug. Yeah, where you could get the old glass mug.
Yeah, the frosty mug.
Mm-hmm. That's what we had. Root beer is caffeine free.
Not Barks.
Yeah, some of them do
Google
have caffeine.
it.
Yeah, some have caffeine. Yeah. Yeah, what was the red one? The red cream soda.
Oh man, we used to get that from Aldi's.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
There is a
it
red
wasn't.
Barks.
What the? No, I
There's
remember
another
the
one,
sticker.
too. Yeah.
Damn it, I know exactly what you're
GTS.
talking about.
Google that shit.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Oh, you talking about Big Red?
Big Red, yes. That was awesome. Yep, Big
Yeah,
Red.
Big Red.
There you go.
You remember being little and getting suicides where you'd walk up to the drink mixer and you'd put one like a little bit of everything in your cup? The suicide.
We would do that every day coming back from surfing. I'd go to Jack in Box and we'd fucking do every single one with an order of fry. We'd make it to third period. Oh, those were the glory days.
Redemption. Ladies and gentlemen, I just got Paul's fiance to admit that I, Dr. Jacob D. Howard, am right. That's true. I am a doctor.
Yes, he is. That he paid for online
yeah.
when he was drunk.
Yeah. You know those, so like the Universal Life Church where you can go and get ordained online kind of thing?
I'm ordained.
Yeah. So I was ordained. And this is when I had moved back to Illinois for a little bit, and it was a night where I just sat and I drank a bottle of Bushmills and was like laughing at myself for reasons. And I was checking out their website and I was like, I can be a doctor. So I paid like $60, and I have this hand calligraphed diploma that says Dr. Jacob D. Howard. It's a Doctor of Divinity for the Universal Life Church. So technically, I'm in. From
Dr. Reverend.
I'm Dr.
Jacob
Reverend
Howard.
Jacob D. Howard, man.
The third.
Yeah. Hey, that's one of the better drunk stories, I suppose. But
Let's do it.
yeah,
Let's get our doctorates.
yeah,
I don't know.
Life Church.
yeah. I mean, you can do it. Oh, you can get whatever title you want on it. They have a whole like list where you can be like Master of Wicca or something like
Well, he's going to be
Supreme Shaman or
marrying us.
congratulations.
He's going to marry me and you.
Whatever, bro. Shh, you fight Brittany over that. I'm gonna sit back.
Nah, I'm good. You fighting a pregnant woman? Nah, I'm good.
She'll kill you.
Hell yeah.
She's about this tall. Little Tina Rage, come get you.
It's really beautiful that you guys can display your love for one another
Oh, this is
Oh, dude.
here on the.
We display our love, talk about dicks. I mean, it's-
every episode.
yeah, it's
There's not
pretty amazing.
there's not a episode that doesn't involve talking about phallus.
Yep.
Mm.
And I'm glad that Des is more active in the chat now.
No shit, right?
But
It's just on.
oh man, like Brittany's great. I'm not even gonna make a joke. Brittany's great. Dude, life's so good right now.
And that, at the end of the day, I mean, that's really what it's all about right now. Is like when you take a step back, like we're talking into microphones, hanging out.
Yeah.
Like, what is the big freaking deal? Like everything's gonna work itself out the way it's gonna work out. Like, do your best, trust. I mean, the 4 agreements pretty much wraps it all up, right? Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make any assumptions. Always do your best.
So I never worked the AA program. I've been to a couple meetings. I met you at one. I went to one of your CHIP meetings. I can't remember.
6 months.
Yeah. And so when you're talking about the 4 agreements and stuff, I'm kind of nodding, but I have no idea.
Oh, it's a book. It's not
Yeah.
AA at all.
Oh,
No,
what
it's a
book
book
is?
by Ruiz. What's his first name?
Don Miguel Ruiz.
Don
Yep.
Miguel Ruiz, yeah.
Okay,
I have it. You can borrow it if you want. It's a good book.
cool. I have like 5 books that I still need to read at
Oh.
home. I started reading Viktor Frankl and his
Don't know what that is.
Awesome.
what the hell? What's the name of that book?
Super dope philosopher.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense because
He's,
one of his idols is the Greek philosopher Marcus
Aurelius.
Marcus Aurelius.
Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor.
Yep.
That dude's got some awesome quotes.
Yeah,
It's great stuff.
he has. I have. I think it's still in my car. Man's Search for Meaning is what I'm reading right now.
Ah, very cool.
Okay. That's why I have the Google machine right here up in front of my face. But I have 2 of his other books too. I'm gonna read them in order as they were published. But I think I have Meditations in my car under a seat somewhere. But trying to apply a stoic way of thinking without being an emotionalist at the same time has been extremely beneficial for me personally, because you have to kind of do your best to be the best who you are today without wronging people, not worrying about the bullshit, for lack of a better term, but also being able to understand that people around you aren't living like that, and how they feel and perceive things are going to affect how they feel and perceive things and talk to you. I think it's helped me be a better partner. I think it's helped me be a better father, and generally just a better coach. This is the third or fourth episode we brought this up, but I brought it up, but realizing that there's just stuff that's not in your control, and being okay with it is easier. It doesn't work all the time, for sure, but it's easier to recognize when I'm like, it's getting easier to recognize when I'm getting mad about something that I can't control, and I'm able to reel it back in a little bit. And I am nowhere near close to where I'd like to be, but I'll get there.
It's awesome, man. It's great awareness and really cool to be able to observe from that point. I can't remember here, type it in the Google machine.
Yeah.
The highest form of human intelligence is the ability to observe oneself without judgment. It's been rattling around for about a little over a year. This meditation center I go to, we do.
How do you say this?
Seminars.
Krishnamurti?
Krishnamurti. Yep. Yep. I mean, that's like the ultimate thing, is to be able to acknowledge, like, wow, I'm just observing myself with no judgment whatsoever. Because so oftentimes, I mean, I fall prey to it, and I know a lot of the guys I've gotten the chance to work with do too, that we start to believe that we are what we've done. We are our titles. We are our, for example, Paul the brother, Paul the father, Jake the brother, the husband, Jeff the VP, Ryan the engineer. Like, as soon as I attach some kind of title to myself, I'm immediately creating this attachment, this bond to this thing, and something inside of me believes that I am this. And not only am I that, but I have to constantly be acting as though I am that based off of what I was told that has to be. And what that does is it gives zero room to be able to have that freedom, that flexibility to look at this life and this existence as we are the creators, able to do whatever we want to do. And by just default, we fall into these bumpers on the freaking bowling game of life, where instead of like realizing like we have the whole entire bowling alley, not just one lane with the bumpers to be able to work with and explore. So, whenever I think something needs to or should be a certain way, just really keeping an eye out and saying, okay, let's try this differently this time. Maybe go a little bit slower at the beginning of a relationship, or maybe go faster if I've been going slow, or pick the underdog in the game, or get a feeling that comes through on a stock, or working with somebody, and just how to follow it and not just go based off what my default is and play it safe all the time. Like, take some risks. The Bible talks about it. There's a story about the guys that get some gold pieces, and one of them immediately takes his gold pieces and he goes and buries them. And then one guy goes and he invests his gold, and he ends up losing. And then the other one ends up going and investing, and he ends up making more gold. And the master comes back and asks them all what they did, and they all come up, and the master is pleased with the two who invested and was not pleased with the one who just went and buried his money because it was safe, and in 3 months has the same exact amount of money, the same thing. Like we're being led to take chances, to take risks, whether it's financially, with your heart, whether it's, you know, with your mind, and really expanding and stretching. That's for me what this existence is all about. And stop looking back. Stop looking back. It's all about what's next. What's next? So yeah, you guys rock, man. Thank you. It's way awesome.
Yeah,
I'm thoroughly pleased, man. That was fucking.
this show's dog shit.
Should be canceled.
Never again.
immediately.
Well, dude, you have a great voice though for
talking.
for talking.
For talking, you got a pretty mouth.
My mom always told me I had a face for radio. Because that's what her dad would say to her. So my grandfather was funny like that.
Yep. I was going to bring something up to you. And I apologize if you see me fidgeting. It's not because I'm.
Oh,
checking
dude,
the
no.
time. It's,
I've done what you do. I mean, to some degree. I mean, running meetings, getting all the info and the content. So like, I love it and appreciate it. I know you're engaged and shit. You listen back to it if you want to. Like, if you miss something. There was, it's funny that Des said that. There was when we started this meeting, when I really dove deep into the meditation and started teaching other people how
that's
to
what I wanted to bring up.
meditate,
I wanted to talk to me more about your
everyone was
meditation.
like, dude, get a YouTube channel, like start leading those meditations. And I was like, nah, because my ego grabbed it. My ego was like, yeah, you need to do this, and you need to be famous, and you need to make money, and you need to do this. And I'm like, no. So like, that was one of those situations of like default, I would go for it and do it for all the quote unquote wrong reasons or whatever. But being able to identify it and take a step back, like, am I open to it? Yeah, absolutely. My schedule's gonna be pretty crazy. I fly into Denver tomorrow. I'm back for my birthday, and then on Sunday I fly out to Maui for my 40th. So that's gonna be a blast. Yeah, dude. Pretty crazy stuff.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's gonna be pretty badass.
I caught myself.
What?
Because I'm jealous.
Oh.
Sounds great.
Oh.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
But back to that, I do want to give a shout out
Go
to
ahead.
a couple people. You guys got to do some. So if you're looking to be of service and get connected, you can go to Facebook, Lost Ones Found AZ. And that is the nonprofit that I'm involved with another one of our brothers.
Right?
Yep, that's the one.
Okay.
Cool.
His name's Nick Baker, and his girlfriend Michelle, and Catherine and Benny. And we're getting moving, man. We're getting moving. We cater one feed, and assist with a lot of others on Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Saturdays. We're partnered up with a couple other great ones, Hearts for the Homeless, the Eris Foundation, and Catherine Cavalis, Cloud Covered Streets, Feed AZ Project, Johnny Martinez. You know, there's quite a few people who are really out there right now making some major impacts. And what we want to do and what we want to eventually move towards is helping to refresh, revitalize the parks of Tempe, Scottsdale, Phoenix, and the surrounding areas, and partner up to where we can go out and we can do some work in the park, slap on a coat of paint where paint's needed, maybe raise some money for a shaded structure, plant some trees. There's a lot of opportunities that we're working on right now, and eventually the long-term goal is to actually have a center where it's residential in the evenings, and we'll have beds for those who do want to not be on the streets anymore, and they want to give it another shot at, mainstream society. They want to get a place to live. They want to get a job. They want to start doing that. And for those people that really, really want it, we want to be there to help them. So that's a big piece of it. Big shout out. And that's really the big one that I want to do. So thank you for that.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Absolutely. That's dope, dude. Honestly, I hope you guys, when you guys make it, I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's happening already. We've got over 100 volunteers who we can get mobilized at any time to help with, any kind of projects. We've got 1,800 pounds of water. So huge water donations, huge Gatorade donations, all kinds of different snacks, clothes, to be able to go out and make an impact in the community. And just so much gratitude. And it just all comes back to gratitude of like, God, please help me stay in gratitude. God, please help me to see what it is you want me to do next, not for me, but for your glory. And just being there. And if I fall short of what the ideal is, cool, get back into forgiveness. Like, the fact of the matter is, gave it 100% effort. And if I didn't give 100%, then say, hey, you gave 80% effort or whatever, and just acknowledge it. And, life is a cycle. It's a marathon of cycles. And, the ancient philosopher Heraclitus said that life is a circle. And, he was back in the days of Pythagoras and the Pythagorean theorem. Go back to your math and stuff, Jake. And
I like Pythagoras. Hate his theorem.
He's crazy, yeah. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Heraclitus just said life's a circle, and it's not a straight line. And the older I get, the more I'm realizing this is that these opportunities to do things differently are going to continue to abound. And there's a meme out there or a saying that says evolve or repeat. And I've gotten the chance to repeat a lot of amazing experiences. Like, I'm really enamored with this gal right now, and this is the second time around, and to a certain degree, and I just am very open to realizing, like, be patient, be calm, don't overreact when the pitcher throws a strike on the outside corner and the ump calls it a ball, because that's life and that's what's going to happen. And shit's not always going to go the way I think it's going to go. But at the end of the day, everything always works itself out a million times better than I possibly could have imagined. So don't get caught up. And when all else fails, man, just get deep into the moment and go help somebody else. Pick up that phone and reach out to Kyle. Pick up that phone and send a text message to your family member or a friend, and just get out of yourself for a minute. Ask them how they're doing. That is just, it's so important. It's so imperative. And if you're really feeling ballsy, click the FaceTime button and just start randomly FaceTiming your friends in the contacts. See who picks up. Have a day of it. Have a game of it. I don't know. That's what I do when I get bored, and it's fun, man. I absolutely love it.
Speaking of friends randomly call you, Quentin called me today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him in like a while.
We should get him on.
Maybe. I brought it up to him. He doesn't know what he'd talk about.
We never know. We never know what we're going to talk about. That's what's the beauty of it.
Shit, I had one thing I want to talk about today, and that was triggers, man. That was the only thing that really came through. And then everything else is just like, hell yeah. Son of a biscuit.
Now,
It's all right, no one can see you.
Now, yeah, that's fine. So the only reason is because I love busting this dude's balls. So whenever he's like, yeah, I'm like, boo. And it's no malice at all. It's just so I can laugh at him. So, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I was really pulling for the Dodgers tonight. I really did think that everything was going to go good until they announced that they were doing a bullpen by committee and having 6 pitchers in tonight. And I don't get just don't get it, man. I
Like,
just don't get it.
This is how
Jeff,
superstitious I am.
I'm a Kansas City Royals fan. So baseball, I don't know what the fuck baseball is. All right, I'm a Royals fan.
You guys got your World Series though, man.
We sure did.
Yeah.
And then
Beating the Mets, I think it was.
2 World Series in a row, lost one, came back, won it, and then they're like, we'd like to get paid now. Kansas City said, how about you go somewhere else, Chief?
Yep. Moustakis.
Mike Moustakis. I have a Mike Moustakis shirt. Oh, Moose.
Hosmer.
I got to watch Hosmer hit a home run at Chase Field when he was playing for the Padres. Was last year. I went and watched a Diamondback game because Brittany got tickets through State Farm. Really good seats.
Lorenzo Cain.
Mm-hmm.
This is a dope team, man. They had some studs. Was Greinke pitching for him then? I think that was before he left for the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, they had some rock stars, man. It was a good team. It was fun.
All right. Give me your tears. Give them to me. Give them to me, Paul.
No.
Give me your tears. I wish the camera worked so you could see my face because I'm very excited. I want to see them. Give me your tears.
Give them to me now. It's all right. We came from a 3-1 deficit. I'm not worried about this one game. We'll give it to them. We'll let them have one.
Sounds like they gave it to you.
Touche. I got nothing to say to that. Eat it. Eat it.
Well, Jeff, this is about to descend into pure chaos.
Yeah.
And I really do appreciate you coming on the show. I've always appreciated your perspective, and I respect you a whole shitload with even just shaking your hand once. Because I've said this multiple times on the show, but I've known Paul for over a decade, and I want nothing but the best for Paul. And the way he talked about you as this person that he looked up to so much, and someone he's glad to be like a mentee of yours, is how he's coming off as. And I was like, I have to get to know this dude. I have to talk to this dude. So I mean, thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate it because I want the best for this dum-dum, and I'm really glad that you're in his life. So I appreciate you very much.
It's all lies. All lies.
I'm a terrible liar.
Nah, seriously, thank you for coming on. I know that because I've asked all of you guys, all of our brothers, Maddie, you, Nick, Seth, and I know you guys have that meditation thing on Wednesday night. So I really appreciate that you took the time out to do this with us tonight, because I've been wanting, like he said, we've been wanting you on for a long time.
Well, thanks for letting me stay at the crib and being just incredible hosts, man. And yeah, Jake, dude, and Ryan too, man. Getting to meet you guys at the pool party, or getting to talk to you. Met you both before, but getting the chance to talk to you a little bit more in depth was great. And I wish you guys the best, man. Like whatever your goal is with this podcast, whatever
Hit
it
15
is.
viewers.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to help in any way that I can, being one of the viewers when somebody else is on and
If
listening and participating.
We end up helping one person. That's all that matters at the end of the day.
That's it. It is.
That's good.
That's the truth right there.
That's good. We're trying to help them, just open their well,
Well,
little bit.
well,
Or
it's just
staying sober.
I mean, staying sober, or just realizing that they're like not even necessarily staying sober. I know this is the Sober Swole podcast, and that's how I really choose to be 100%. But it's really more of, I really want people to understand that they don't have to keep living the same life they're living. If they want to change it, they can find a way to adjust and change it. And you're gonna have, with anything else, you're gonna have growing pains. It's gonna suck for a little bit. But if you're wanting to change and be better for yourself down the line, those growing pains are so much worth it, and it's okay. Like this podcast wouldn't have happened without being like, hey, fuck it, you just want to talk with some microphones sometime?
Mm-hmm.
And you would have never thought Paul and I would be sitting in a room. When we first started, it was just couches right here. Paul sitting side by side in these chairs, just yelling back and forth at each other about gibberish.
Or crying.
Yeah. And just,
Excuse me.
Ryan has really done a great job at helping us grow and be better behind a camera, behind a microphone, and really facilitating, letting us become
What we are.
radio show hosts with it on the internet. Man,
Mhm.
this is rad. I never saw this happening.
My thing is, I want to make sure that people know it's okay to ask for help.
Yep.
That's my biggest thing, because that was something that I struggled with for a long time. Still do.
Yep.
And I just want people to know that, hey, it's okay, especially as men, because in society we're told to, swallow it up, throw it under the rug, do whatever it needs to be. But shit, man, in the meetings, man, I've seen some of the fucking gnarliest looking dudes be the sweetest men that you would ever meet. So, yeah, that's I just want us to be able to know that we, like Jake said, help one person. That's it.
If we can help people figure out that their self-worth is actually worth a shit.
Yep,
That's all that matters at the end of the day, man.
that's right.
Anywho, thank you for listening to the Sober Swole podcast. It's been a pleasure. I will do my best to make sure this is done before I get on a plane, because I will be in beautiful Dallas, Texas on Friday. So I will not be joining anybody in the live chat on the YouTube premiere, but I will make sure that the episode is set up and ready to go. I'm going to do some more posting about last week's episode. That's my bad. I missed my mark on my marketing, so we're going to be promoting the hell out of both of these shows. So, Jeff, once again, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to go home.
And me and Jeff are gonna go drive in a smooth, sweet, fucking convertible Camaro. Yeah,
It's fast.
it is.
It's fast.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too, is like, I'll leave you with this. If you got the chance to get the convertible and pay an extra $150 total for the 7-day trip, do it. Just do it. Stop saving your fucking money. Go have fun. Go enjoy yourself. Because tomorrow's not promised.
Amen to that.
There we go. Oh, DJ Swirl. Yes, sir. Please cut the feed.
I thought we were having a chance to come back on the 8th.
This man.
Almost did.
Hey, I had my phone off. I didn't have it on.
No, I didn't say that you did.
And Des was giving him updates in
Take
the chat.
risks. Yeah, Des said take risks.